We are officially in, well, I am officially in my third trimester, which is the last trimester before baby comes. And things are starting to get real now. I'm huge. It might seem like this pregnancy has gone by super fast for you guys and gals, but it's definitely been a slow one for me. I'm only 2/3 of the way there. So I'm officially 28 weeks now. I'm not even in my 30s. So I thought for today's video, we just have kind of like a little sit down, informal chit chat. I'm gonna update you on everything baby, pregnancy, whatnots. I brought my notebook because I know I'm gonna forget what I want to talk about in this video because that's literally been my brain. So my second trimester was great. I finally got my energy back and I started feeling more like me again. All the nausea went away. And I just kind of felt like I was actually able to do stuff again. That's why you've seen all of the content that we've been putting out, because I'm like, yes, I can do things again. Now, when it comes to symptoms of my second trimester, I actually have some pleasant ones. Now, if you've been following me for a while, you know that I struggle with back issues, back pain, just chronic back problems. I made a whole video about it. And one of my biggest worries going into pregnancy was, how was my back going to react? And around week 14 to 16, I started getting really, really bad back pain. Again, I was getting like sciatica down my spine and just having issues sleeping, sitting up. And I was like, oh man, we're going to be in for a long pregnancy. But I don't know what's happening to my body. My back pain magically disappeared. Can't really explain why. And I'm just gonna roll with it. I've been so fortunate. Like, it's honestly been amazing. I have no back pain and my belly is huge. Knock on wood that this stays like this for my rest of my whole pregnancy. Now, my only kind of like assumption of why it's like this is possibly because of the hormone relaxin. Like, there's a hormone that you have during pregnancy that relaxes your ligaments and tendons, and maybe it just went to my back and my back's like, all right, cool. I was just really tense all this time, and now I'm another weird symptom that's like, what the heck, is I've magically become lactose tolerant. Now, I've been lactose intolerant since I was 16 years old, but somehow I am tolerant to dairy. Now, I learned this when we had Matt's birthday and we baked a cake and it had dairy in it, and normally I would take my lactose pills and just have a piece. It's like my cheat. I save those for birthdays and special occasions, but I didn't want to take my lactose pills because I didn't know how they'd be with pregnancy, and so I just had a piece of cake and then I was fine. And then I was like, And so I've experimented with a couple other things like some cheese or some ice cream, and I was fine. And I was like, Now, I don't know how long this lactose intolerance will last. It might just revert back to being intolerant again once I'm no longer pregnant, but that's cool. Not that I'm actually eating dairy. Another big thing that I've been trying to do during my second trimester is to keep active. So I go on a walk pretty much every single day, like a 20 to 30 minute walk with a pretty good size hill involved. So like I'm huffing and puffing. It's not just like a flat walk. I'm actually getting a bit of cardio in there. And I've been golfing again. So I've golfed all my life, if you don't know this, and I played competitive golf during university and when I was in high school. So this has been a bit of a learning curve. Like, I'm not at the level I was, obviously, with a gigantic belly, but surprisingly, my belly has not really been the issue when I've been golfing. The biggest issue has just been bending over, like leaning over and picking up the ball, marking the ball again, picking up a club. There's a lot of bending over involved in golf. So that's kind of been like my only struggle with playing golf. But aside from that, I've been pleasantly surprised that I've been able to do it during pregnancy. So that's kind of like my exercise situation. Now, I don't know how long I'm going to be able to continue playing golf. I think that I have at least another month or so. So that's been all the good stuff of second trimester. And now let's talk about all the not so great things I've been experiencing. Heartburn or acid reflux. I think it's the same thing. Yeah, I think that's going to be an issue going forward. I get it a lot. I've been getting it for like the last week and a bit. if I'm not careful with how I'm like eating and drinking and just like eating too much and drinking at the same time. And I've also been having a lot of issues sleeping. I pretty much, like, I am a back and stomach sleeper, and pregnancy, you can't really do either of those. You're supposed to sleep on your side, but I hate sleeping on my side. So essentially, I wake up so many times during the night. I'll be on my left side, and then my like left side gets sore, like my arms get sore, my hips get sore. So I gotta rotate onto my right side, and then I'm literally just waking up multiple times a night, just rotating. And I honestly haven't gotten like a solid night's sleep, and just me and sleep are just... And then there has been the weight gain. I want to put a little trigger warning here if you don't like talking or hearing about weight. I've gained a lot of weight in the second trimester. I mean, I was already gaining it in the first trimester, but I've like accelerated my weight gain. And I am currently at the heaviest I've ever been, ever. Now, I'm 5'4", and I usually weigh about 120, at least for like the last, 5-6 years. I've consistently been in the like 120 range. I'm very comfortable with that weight. I was very happy with that weight and happy with my body. Finally, after like so many years of struggling through like my early 20s of just fluctuating weight loss and gain, I would just usually fluctuate like maybe 5-10 pounds, which isn't a whole lot, but I'm now currently 143. So I've gained 23 pounds already in 23 weeks, which seems like, I mean, it's a lot. It feels like a lot. I know in the grand scheme of pregnancy stuff, women gain all kinds of different weights. I can't really like compare myself to other people and what they're gaining and the rate they're gaining at, because everybody's different, but it's kind of hard. It's hard because I just feel like I don't like filming. I don't like taking photos, because when I look at myself, I just don't feel like it's myself, if that makes sense. And I mean, all my clothes just fit really weird and awkwardly, and maybe that's because I don't really want to go out and buy a bunch of pregnancy, like maternity clothes, but I think I should just buy a few more outfits, because then I'll at least feel a little bit better with better fitting clothes. If you have any tips or advice, like if you are a fellow mama going through this or have experienced this yourself and you have some words of wisdom for me, that would be awesome. And the only other time I was like this, at this weight was like when I was in Tobago, and I put on like 20 pounds in like 2 months, which was even a crazier weight gain that I'm currently experiencing. But that was a really like bad time in my life. I was just really depressed about that. I just ate my feelings and ate and ate. So let's move on. Let's change up the subject to a more positive. Let's move on to something more positive now, and talking about prepping for baby. So I've literally bought nothing. Now, the reason we haven't really bought anything is because I'm still figuring out what I want to do with the baby shower. And I think the plan is I'm going to do like a virtual baby shower on Zoom. It is what it is, but that's kind of the plan. And so I wanted to wait for the baby shower to kind of go in and buy any other additional things that we need for baby. Just want to have a fun baby shower, even if it's just via the computer screen. So one of the things I have been doing instead is kind of like prepping my mind for baby. Less of buying of the stuff and more of like, so there's been a couple things that we've been doing, or like Matt and I have been doing. One, we've been reading the Happiest Baby on the Block book. It's called the Happiest Baby on the Block book. So that was recommended to us. And it's more about like colicky children, like soothing a colicky baby. Now this is something Matt and I figured would be pretty valuable information, considering I was colicky and Matt was colicky. So chances are we're gonna have a fussy baby on our hands. So another thing I did was took a hypnobirthing course. And hypnobirthing is kind of like preparing your mind and body with dealing with labor and whatnot. It's essentially a way to kind of like change your mind frame around labor. I'm not explaining it very well, but I found it really, really good. I really enjoyed it. The gist of it is you want to relax and calm your body as much as possible so that you are not stressing and focusing on the wrong things and getting anxiety while you are trying to birth a baby. It's something I would naturally tend to do because I think I would just have a lot of anxiety because obviously I've never birthed a baby before. There's a lot of things happening. A lot of unknowns. It's kind of scary. Matt and I are also planning on doing a prenatal course that's offered by the local college here in BC. So that's another online course that we're going to be taking in June. That's going to kind of like go through all the baby basics of like, what do you do with a baby once you have a baby? I don't know. I really don't. So that's going to be super helpful. So I am looking forward to taking that course and learning more there. And that's kind of it at the moment. I'm hoping to maybe take or at least read more about like sleeping, like baby sleep information, how to make baby sleep. So if you guys and gals have any other recommendations for books or courses that you could take online that you found really helpful, please let me know down below in the comments. And last, Matt and I have started nesting. We haven't really been like gathering the stuff yet, and we've been instead kind of just getting rid of a lot of stuff. So essentially the last like couple weeks, we have been trying to clear out a bunch of stuff from our suite. So we've been selling a lot of old camera gear, bags, musical instruments, other random stuff we just have in the house that we don't use, we haven't used in years, and we're probably not going to use in the future. And it's been actually quite nice because we've made a good chunk of money. Like I think we made over $3,000 in selling stuff. It's not like it's like gonna be like a net gain or anything because all that money is literally just going back to baby. Like that's basically the money that we're using to spend on baby stuff. So it's not like we're making money, we're making progress, even if we're gonna spend it again. And then Matt's been on this minimalist train. I don't know how I feel about yet, but he's been clearing out a bunch of other things and just getting rid of it. So a bunch of stuff that we're not selling, we're just getting rid of. We're just trying to clear out.
We're minimalist now.
And clean out as much as we can because once baby comes, there's gonna be a lot of stuff. I mean, we're trying not to buy a ton of baby stuff, but there is gonna be stuff that we need for baby. I still have to go through like my bookshelf I wanna go through. I wanna go through my closet and put a bunch of stuff up for sale. I'm thinking of starting a Poshmark. I'm gonna leave a link down below. I don't know what I'm gonna have up for sale by the time this goes live, but I'm hoping to put some stuff up there of just dresses and other things that I don't really use anymore, or don't wear, or haven't really worn. So now you're up to speed. That's been my life the last several months. Pregnancy update number 2. I'm planning on doing one more before baby comes. So if you're excited to see that, let me know down below. We'll catch you guys and gals again soon.